Hi everyone. So we are the two interns for the summer at Access 21, and we just came on here to talk to you guys a little bit about just kind of our internship, a little bit about us, and just kind of what we've learned, what we want to do in the future. So I'm Lily, and this is Miriam.
Hi, I'm Miriam.
So Miriam, what have you learned so far here?
A lot. I came here with no experience. I am in school right now at Central Piedmont, and I'm in the broadcast and TV production program. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we weren't able to get any hands-on experience. So everything's been virtual, which sucked. But once I applied here and I got here, I've been able to learn how to use all their equipment, like cameras. One thing I really wanted to learn, and I'm so happy I got to do, is how to work the Canon cameras.
Yeah.
I know that you have experience with that. And so I have been slowly been able to kind of understand all the features and all that fun stuff. And I've also learned how to use the audio boards, the switchers, so a lot, really. What about you?
Nice. So I'm actually here kind of for the same reasons as you. We've talked about it before. I'm a journalism and photography student at Western Carolina, and I've gotten more hands-on experience than you have so far, but I've wanted to lean more towards the broadcasting side of things rather than journalism, because I've learned a lot about writing and reporting, but I haven't learned about anything else. I have experience with the Canon, but I'm completely self-taught, so I've never had actual training. So yeah, same as you, the studio has been super awesome to learn in, the studio cameras and stuff. Directing was so nerve-wracking, but it's a really good thing to learn. And actually, I didn't act like it when we were in the class, but I was actually really excited to learn.
She's funny.
Yeah,
She's funny.
Yeah, we were both so nervous because we both have anxiety, so we were just not looking forward to having to do that at all.
Charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of had to take on the role of directing and having to tell people what to do. I was panicking, and she was trying to be cool and calm about it because I think she knew that I was having anxiety about it. But then actually once we did it, we were so excited about it, and we were go to one of the studio coordinators, Bubba, and we were we so happy. And so we're well, we did it, and so it's great. I think it's gotten me to feel a bit more confident about actually touching this stuff and knowing what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was fun too that we got to direct the studio class, so it wasn't a real production, so we didn't have a bunch of pressure on us if we messed up, because we did mess up. But
they wouldn't know.
Yeah, they wouldn't know. And it was really fun too. I don't know, it was just, yeah, it was cool learning the ins and outs of a production and being the one in charge of it and realizing how much goes on at once.
Yeah.
And how to, I don't know, kind of make them mingle and the show to come out fluid and not super choppy and stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's made me see TV production differently now. When I see a show, especially if it's live, I'm thinking about the how it's happening in the back behind the scenes, the panic back there, the director having to audio, graphics, all of that. I can only imagine the pressure that they feel.
Oh yeah, 100%. And when we were practicing directing, you know how we had one of the studio coordinators, Bubba, who's actually helping us with the camera work right now. He was tormenting Miriam. Actually wasn't here on this day, but he was with one of the cameras and he was shaking it around. Yes. And ever since that, I've been watching reality shows and stuff, and every time a camera shakes, it drives me nuts. I'm why would you choose to be on that shot? Yeah. I'm the director needs to pay more attention and switch, they're moving the camera.
I'm telling you, it's made me view it differently. I watched this reality show the other day, and I think it was a confessional, and the camera just kept zooming in and out, and I'm literally stop. And that's what Bubba wanted. That's what Bubba wanted me to do when I was directing. He wanted me to kind of be more assertive and just be hey, tell your people they need to do, X, Y, and Z. At the beginning, I was really shy about that. I was can you please stop doing that? But then after, I feel now if I were to do it again, I feel I would most definitely feel more confident in kind of telling the cameraman and the host, this is what's up.
Yeah, you were really lovely. Like, you totally underestimated yourself when we were directing because you did so good. You, like, tap everybody on the shoulder when it was our time to do something. You were so, like, gentle and nice. It was because, like, everybody's stressed in that situation. Like, when something's live and you have to do all of these different things at different times, you kept everybody, like, level-headed and was like, okay, we'll move from this to this and this. Oh, this went wrong. That's okay. We can do this. Like, you were so anxious about it leading up to it, but then you were so calm and collected and put together while it was happening. And that was good.
That's something that both of us, I think, are really well at. Like, we'll talk about it behind and, like, talk about how, like, anxious and, like, nerve-wracking it is. But then when it's time to put on the show, like, we actually, like, just do it.
Yeah, like this right now.
Yeah, like this. We
were
like,
so worried.
And we did another podcast earlier, and you had to do, like, a lot of talking. And I thought you did really well.
Oh, thank
you.
You
did really, really well. I love that.
You're so sweet. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, gosh. But we've actually, I know we've both had a chance to work on other members' shows. And I want to kind of talk about one of the directors who's awesome, lovely. I love him. He's been here for 10 plus years?
Yeah, 10 years.
Yes. And it's Eric. So Eric, if you're watching, but whenever he has like that calm, cool and collected like vibe about him. And I think that kind of like lets the whole team, it puts him at ease.
Yeah.
And I like working with him. And one of my first times that I had to do it by myself without you weren't here. And I was just thrown in there. He made me feel so good about like doing the graphics. And he was like, don't worry about it. Like we all mess up. And, you know, I was like wanting it to be perfect.
Yeah. Eric is so cute. Like he comes in, he knows what he's doing. He's not worried about it. Like for our internship projects or whatever, I had to interview him the other day. And like for other people, I had to do like a couple takes or they messed up or they were nervous. So it took a little while. But Eric came in like 3 minutes, he was done. He had everything together. He was super confident. Like he talked about everything he needed to talk about, and he didn't have the questions ahead of time or anything. Like he just came in, smashed it, and then left. I was so impressed with him.
A true professional. A true professional. We love him here at Access 21.
Well, and like all the directors seem to be that way. Like Eric, we talk about because he's the most experienced and he's been here for a while, and we've worked with him a lot because he volunteers on a lot of the shoots. But like so far, any of the like producers or directors I've met, they're all super nice, know what they're doing, have like a calm head on their shoulders, are really good under pressure. And I think that's like a superpower to have because I don't feel like I'm that way at all. I get so nervous under pressure. I feel like I don't do very well.
Don't believe her, audience. She says that, and she does so well, and she knows exactly what she's doing. And yeah, no.
You're too nice.
But yeah, what else have we done here that I've had? I have a lot of fun whenever we come up with like our own things, like and get to be creative. I think just to refer back to the other thing, we had to do a podcast prior to this one, and we were doing kind of like a virtual tour, which you guys should check out. But I thought that was so fun. We got to come up with like our own way of doing it. One of the Bubba, the studio coordinator, he was able to be part of it, and things like that make it like the experience like so enjoyable.
Like I 10 out of 10 think that I've learned a lot here and it's been really wonderful, but the best part about this place is the people. Oh yeah. Like the members are so wonderful. All of the studio coordinators are so like, they just love their jobs. They love what they do. They love, videography and helping people. And they're like, we were talking about Bubba. I don't mean to put him in the spotlight because we keep talking about him. I know, yes. But like, he's one of like the best teachers. He's taught us so much. Everyone's so like patient and just wants to see you do well and achieve your goals. And I love that so much. Like, I think that that's one of the biggest takeaways I'm going to take away from this internship is just like learning like what I've learned here, obviously, but also helping other people learn it and stuff. Because you can't do any of this stuff by yourself. No. As much as you may want to sometimes, like that's like one of the biggest things about producing a show here and stuff is you have to have like a producer, on-screen talent, cameraman, someone to do the lighting, someone to do the audio, and you all have to work together as a team. And
depend on each other.
Yeah. Like I've learned how to help everyone like work together as a team and get along and kind of get into a flow to make things easier. And I've learned that from our studio coordinators. Absolutely. Like they've been so lovely. Oh my goodness.
I know. I feel like I've learned a lot from them actually. feel like more so than school. Well, to be fair, I feel like school is it's just so, textbook, like this is what you should know and yada, yada, yada. But here, like I've been able to actually touch the things and even like editing, right? Final Cut. I don't have any experience with Final Cut Pro. And yesterday I was editing my video and I was able to, Bubba was able to give me some insight. And literally in a matter of like 30 minutes that we spent together, I learned so much that I know is going to make my project just so much better. That little things that I didn't even think about that, school might have not been able to teach, and so that's something that I'm definitely taking away from this internship. Just like, it's the little things.
Yeah.
It really is like.
Yeah, and that transfers into back to like what we were talking about before, like when you watch things, knowing this much about like what goes on behind the scenes and how much work goes into getting like specific shots and stuff, it just makes you appreciate things a lot more. Absolutely. Like I look at like movies and stuff and I watch movies more for their videography now. Like I'll like completely forget to pay attention to the storyline because I'm watching like the camera work. I'm like, oh, this is a one shot. This is so cool. Or like, oh, I wonder how they did this. And it's just like, it makes you appreciate the little things, knowing a lot more about it.
Admirable too, like when you look at the production. So yeah, I can't watch a show now without.
Yeah, me either.
Like, I'm sorry, I was just like watching it. My boyfriend's like, "Can you just enjoy it?" And I'm like, "No, but I know what that is. I know what this is."
Yeah, I do the same thing. Like I went and saw like The Quiet Place 2, the new like horror movie or whatever, and I was just talking about like the shots and stuff, and like my boyfriend was like, "Can you shut up?" I was like, "No, this is too much fun. Yeah. This is my bread and butter right here."
Yes,
it was so fun.
Yeah, but other than that, let's see, what else have I taken from, I feel like it's just so much to kind of just narrow it down. I love the studios. I think the studio, setting up for shows, I enjoy a lot too, just because I didn't realize how much time it took to set things up. It took forever for the lighting and to get it perfect, and then like the sets look great. So that part to me was kind of like, not a shock, but definitely something that I underestimated.
Yeah, and then you shoot for like 3 minutes, you're done, and then you have to spend an hour putting everything away.
But it was worth it. It was so worth it.
Yeah, like I think people don't realize how much time goes into shots before you actually do it, because like the ratio of work behind the scenes is so much more than what you actually see. Like we spent, like I did your interview yesterday for my final project, and we spent time like setting up a fake studio or a fake set in the background in the studio. We set up the lighting for you, the lighting for the studio, set up like the audio and the cameras themselves and stuff, and that took us like an hour. We did a 3-minute interview and then we put all the stuff away.
Literally.
It was fun though.
So I can only imagine what these like bigger productions have to do. I think they prepare for weeks.
Oh yeah, 100%. I see why it takes like 2 years to shoot movies now and stuff, because it's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot of love that goes into it too. Like you have to have a certain amount of passion to be able to have the patience to do all that.
Absolutely. Or else then it becomes dreading if you're not into it. Like, you know, then you don't want to do it. But to me, like doing that yesterday, it didn't feel like an hour.
Yeah.
Like we're just kind of doing it and we knew it had to get done and like we're wanting to make it good. And so then I realized when I look at the time and I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
It does. It does.
But I definitely see, you know, like what we've learned here helping us in the future, because we both want to go into journalism. You more so like entertainment journalism, right? What exactly do you want to do?
So that's a very hard question to answer, just because I want to do so much and that I just don't know. Right now, what I've been leaning towards more so, and it might be because of this, but I've been leaning more towards the radio side of things, just because I find that it's just, I don't know, it's intriguing to me and I just want to go and like do it. So I want to definitely get into the radio side of stuff, but it's not definite yet because I just want to do so much. What about you?
I don't know. I love cameras, and that's why I decided to like do this internship. Like I'm really into photography. I've been doing videography since high school. So I'm kind of on the fence. Like there's a good thing about this field is there's a lot of different things you can do. Like you can work somewhere like here and help out members. You can work, you know, get like B-roll and stuff for like news channels. You can go and travel and do like more in-depth stories and stuff. But I definitely want to stick to more of like storytelling is my biggest thing. Like, I thought about it last night a lot, which is kind of weird, but I was thinking about it. I was actually thinking about what I want to put in my bio and my LinkedIn, because I've been thinking about it a lot, because everyone has like these cool catchphrases on LinkedIn. So I was like, what do I want to do for mine? And I thought of like this phrase, and it was like spreading information through storytelling, because I feel like that very much describes my approach to journalism and my approach to this field is I want to spread information accurately and fairly, obviously, because that's what's missing in the world right now. But I want to do that through helping people and telling people stories, because that's the best way, you know, to spread information is someone that has a personal connection and is personally involved in it. It's just so much more effective. It's so much more fun to watch. It's entertaining, but it's also, you know, it gets like, I don't know, I can't describe it, but it's just, I love that. Like, I am going into this field because I want to help people in whatever way I can. And I just, I feel like the best way I can do that is spreading information through storytelling. So,
I love it. Lily, I'm so excited to see what you're going to do.
Thank you.
Like your future.
How about this? We have a little talk show. You can be on the on-screen talent. I'll run the stuff in the background. We can interview people with like all their cool stories and stuff.
Absolutely.
And it'll be fun.
I'd be so down. Yes. Yeah, that's really, that would be super fun. And I look forward to seeing all of your work. I think that.
Yeah, you too. I think we're going to be friends for a while. I know. I'll just like check in on you every now and then, be like, oh my God, girl, you got a talk show.
That's another thing that I'm very thankful for this internship is I got to meet like you. That's very.
Aw, you're so sweet.
My heart. Because I feel like we can always bounce off of each other. Like, I feel like we're going through the same thing and we're sharing this experience together. And, you know, nobody else can really like compare.
Yeah. And that's
or
kind
understand.
And now that I think about it, like us doing this podcast, we're spreading information about the internship while telling our stories about it too. So we're kind of, what's it called? What did I just say?
Spreading
information through storytelling. There we go.
Spreading information through storytelling.
All right. So I think that's all we have time for. So I got to say our little ending credits thing since we recorded this here. So this podcast was produced using the facilities of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Public Access Corporation, Access 21. Thank you guys for checking in with us, and we'll talk to you later.